Welcome to the Cadillac Grand Prix at St. Petersburg. Drivers, start your engines.
What a glorious day here at St. Pete, and a jump in the back. That's costly, and a couple of cars have stalled. Oh, it's going to be mayhem. There's the pack, and what a fabulous start by, I believe, the number 21, the GTA driver, Andrew Palmer.
This has been a real mix-up from what we saw in qualifying. This will be thrilling to see how this shakes out right now.
Yeah, and with Enga having that problem, he was able to go through. I mean, Enga looks like he's going to slot back almost to outside of the top 10, Cal. A horrific start.
Look at Pilgrim. He looks down to the inside. Andy is one of the best overtakers in the business. He's really decisive, side by side through turn one.
That was on Andrew Palmer, the young GTA driver.
Here we see Pilgrim. Everyone talked about these GT3 cars. Here comes the World Challenge spec. Cadillac to the inside. He takes the lead from Anthony Lazzaro.
Let's go back and see what's unfolding in GTS, and it looks as though Andy Lee has gone around and picked up the lead in that Crown 7. Best IT, number 20, that white Camaro right there with that big black stripe right down the center of it, chased by defending class champion Lasse Aschenbach. And right now, Andy Pilgrim, no question, is leaning on those Pirellis as he is stretching that margin out up to almost 3 seconds at this point. But Calvin, we talked about that chaos at the start. Let's take another look at it.
Well, look at the left side of the screen, the right side of the grid. There's a pole set of Enga. You see Sofronas get a bit of a jump. I think everyone got antsy. Enga stalls. Cameron had nowhere to go. O'Connell was right there as well. We had to wait for Enga to get the car refired before Cameron and O'Connell could get going. O'Connell further into this lap had some kind of drama because he's buried at the back of the field right now.
Oh, and we've got a car off. It's the 98 Ernie Francis Jr.
Damage to the left rear, Greg.
It sure is. That is that breathless performance Camaro into that relatively short runoff area, but something has gone wrong.
Here we see Ernie Francis Jr. just gets really wide there, coming through turn 7, has to hit the escape road down into turn 8, so major damage to the left side of that car, and that's a shame. That's a team that doesn't have a massive budget, Greg, so this will hurt them big time.
Here, though, is your GTS battle. It is fierce. That is the number 20 Crown 7 Best IT Camaro of Andy Lee, chased by the Black Dog Speed Shop of the number 1 Lasse Aschenbach. Yes, indeed, that number 1 means he is the defending class champion. Not too far back, though, Cal, is the number 50 of Dean Martin, and the guy who had a tough start and has clawed his way back into it, closing, making the move now. Jack Baldwin looks like he's going to go down to the inside of Martin. Oh, the squeeze,
they touch,
and again.
Dean Martin, one of the most aggressive drivers out there. He didn't want to give that position up. Jack was forcing his way through. We can see those Camaros taking off a little bit. Really tight quarters there down in the brake zone for turn 4.
And look at this. Oh, we've got Brad Adams in the Hoodoo Dat Dog machine, and another, a big get-together, the 7 GTA Porsche of Taggart, and one of our always evolving Autotopia cars, the 75 of Davis. And this one, Cal, this might bring out the full course yellow, and we get word, full course it is. We're going to see if we can show you what may have occurred here, Cal.
Oh, look at this. Taggart all the way to the inside, and he's just going to get in there really deep, just unabated speed. Oh, that was a big hit.
Got to that inside there, very low grip probably in that area. Just once he got there and got trapped there, he was pretty well committed. Boy, Andy bringing him up slow, wants to use that V8 torque to good effect. We're green. He launches, and right there, Palmer making the move, and Tomas Enga swings way down to the inside. Cal driving down to the apex. He's got Palmer. Couldn't quite get Mancuso. Now,
get to the inside of Mancuso. He takes third. Great restart lap for Tomas Enga, our pole sitter. Here's the battle in GTS. Andy Lee continues to lead. The champ, Aschenbach, right behind him. And then it's Dean Martin in that blue Mustang. Oh, a bit of a problem down here in turn 1.
Yeah, it's one of the
Camaros,
Camaros,
I think.
Yep, the 29, and one of our Aston Martins, the 04, having a problem as well. Meanwhile, here we go. Enga trying to do the wider run through the corner, and Lazzaro gets clipped by Sofronas, trying to go around Sofronas. They had contact. Depends on how bad the damage is on Anthony's car. That's going to slow him up. Enga going to make the big dive move to the inside. He's through cleanly. Lazzaro might be wounded. Here is Andy Pilgrim, and all of that action behind him is playing into his hands perfectly.
It has, but certainly Enga has a lot of pace right now. He's coming after him. The last lap, he was nearly a second faster than Andy Pilgrim. So he's going to try and chase him down. Our pole setter, a man on a move right now.
Just under 12 minutes to go. Pilgrim feeling the heat. Enga and Pilgrim coming up on a clump of traffic. Boy, he wants to time this. And Enga closing. Pilgrim swinging out. Blue flags flying from the workers. Pilgrim moves to the right, comes down the inside. Enga now within a car length. They are going by 1. They are going by Istuk. They're both going to clear him. Yes, they do. Nice job by those two GTS cars. But Enga now within a half a car length.
Yeah, he's very close, and he takes a very different line in 14. He kind of double apexes it. He lets the car drift up in the middle, then cuts it back down. He thought that was his secret now as he puts the pressure on Andy Pilgrim down into the brake zone. Not quite close enough. That caddy is always so impressive in the brake zones. We saw it last year, particularly with Pilgrim making some brilliant moves. Now he's trying to defend that position under the brakes as well.
Traffic coming up. Oh, that is Dean Martin's car. That has come to a slow. Something wrong with that number 50 as Pilgrim coming up on the back of one of the Kias. Tim Pappas, a big shunt in that Mercedes.
Yeah, you can see the tire marks there as he turned it around. I think that's the exit of turn 3, but this will bring out a caution for sure. You can't have a car sit there in this high-speed part of the racetrack. That'll mean for Enger, he knows he's got to make a move now if he's going to do it, because we may be going caution right now.
Oh, and look at that scrap. Sefurlis again. He's got GTS traffic. The leaders coming around him. And Aschenbach takes advantage, gets by Andy Lee, Baldwin into third, and it looks like Andy Lee's got some damage on that left corner, Cal.
Yeah, he does. I mean, there's been a bit of argy-bargy around this circuit at times, but right now, Aschenbach, brilliant performance. What a run he did at Houston in the season finale to clinch the championship. He's starting off the season in the same way, it looks like. Sensational racing between two veterans here. Andy Pilgrim using every trick in the book to try and keep the check. Thomas Enger behind him. Enger hasn't raced in 18 months, but he's driving a race car every weekend and developing this Lamborghini, and it is showing. He is hungry. He wants a win.
Coming up and around Nick Janssen, they're able to get by the quick Swede in the GTS Kia Optima Turbo. They now come up through this ultra fast. I love this section of corners, 11 and 12. You feed it in almost flat, then dip just breathe it more than anything. And again, Enger using that wide in and then tight outline, trying, as you said, get to the throttle early. This time, he's going to try and use that green car. If Adams is a pick, can't do it.
Yeah, he's coming fast. He's coming fast. He's been really late on the brakes down here, but the caddy has responded so far. Enger looks to the inside, really deep, makes the move, runs out a little bit wide. Good, clean racing. They may have just brushed bodyworks a little bit, but this is what it's all about, putting it all on the line for the win here on the streets of St. Petersburg.
I believe you call that straight lining to the apex. It has been spectacular. Here is a look at Enger's move to the lead, Cal.
Well, it's bumpy there, as you see. He just leaves the brake a little bit later, releases the brake pedal and try and just get inside of Andy Pilgrim. He saw him coming. Plenty of racetrack there. It's a good spot to do it.
Enger, the white flag flies. One more lap, 1.8 miles for the Czech to make a triumphant return to St. Petersburg, perhaps, where he had that crash that took him out of a number of races in 2007.
Pilgrim's coming. He may have a last shot at this. It's going to be tough work because Enger is so quick through that final turn. This is where that downforce in the GT3 car really works through that high-speed chicane.
Now, let's see, does Enger use his wide open? He shallows it up a little bit. He didn't want to give any opening to Pilgrim to do something. Last-minute dive to the inside. Thomas Enger, the Ryder Engineering, Lamborghini, Gallardo, FL2, GT3. Welcome back to St. Pete, a big win. Pilgrim slices through, completing the second spot and filling out the GT podium. We're still waiting for that, but the GTS podium, Aschenbach over Lee and Baldwin. Just some fantastic racing. And let's see, Andrew Palmer now comes through and picks up third in the Global Motorsports Group Audi with Anthony Lazzaro fourth. And I'll tell you, an impressive run by Prince Albert von Turnhen-Taxis into the top 5 second GTA category driver.
What a motor race. What a motor race.